supreme architect of the universe, we thank you for the many blessings you have bestowed upon our fraternal order. We pray that you continue in brotherly love, seeking your light above all things. Direct us as we conclude our time together and grant us safe travel as we return home. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I would like to start off by introducing our Valley officers and our SGID, the Grand Inspector General of Missouri, the illustrious Robert Thomas. Personal Representative Jim Parson, illustrious. Executive Secretary of the illustrious Richard Lowry. Venerable Master, Steve Everhart. Vice Master, James Gilbert. Commander Patrick Stewart. I'm David Housemaster of Kadosh. From time to time, we lose people who are special to us, and recently we have lost a brother that was very dear to anyone and everyone who knew him. I want to say that anyone who did not know Brother James Carpenter really missed out. I think Brother D. Rao has the words to say.
Illustrious Brother James A. Carpenter, 33rd, was born October 26, 1953, in Mansfield, Missouri. He stayed in the Seymour area his entire life. He graduated from Seymour High School in 1971. After high school, he was employed by Seymour Gold Electric Cooperative in Mansfield as a groundsman at age 9. He stayed with the co-op for 45 years. He had been general manager for the last 12 years, and that hoped to retire in 2018. Brother Jim was initiated past the race at Hazelwood Lodge, number 459, 1987. He was initiated in the Valley of Joplin and received his first Scottish Rite degrees in late March of 1989. After a number of years of working in the Valley, he was invested with the bank. The bank declaration of Knights Commander for the farm. In October 1995, he was coordinated as the Inspector General in November 2009. Brother Jim was instrumental in the construction of its new Masonic Lodge building in the 1990s and 2008. In 2010, he affiliated with Mountain Road Lodge, number 158, and served as its worshipful master. He began serving as Hazelwood Lodge president in 2000. He served in that station for 11 years. His brothers served as the Grand Lodge of Missouri's Grand Chaplain in 2016. He was a member of the Royal Lancaster Star and York Rite Lodge as well. Most recently, his brothers served on the ballot of Joplin, Dot Care, Board of Directors, he was board chairman for the 2017 calendar year. Throughout his adulthood, he was an active community servant. He was known for donating hundreds, if not thousands, of hours to community college. In addition to his Masonic accomplishment, Brother Jim served as a North Board Alderman from 2002 to 2004. Holding the position of Mayor Trophy. Illustrious Brother Jim Carpenter, 33rd, passed onto that house on David's hands. He turned in the hands on December 9, 2017, after he died with a recurrent disease. He was a natural leader, a great friend, a wonderful philanthropist, and he was sorely missed. I might say that Jim and I were the closest of friends when we elected him as master of Hazelwood Lodge. He served that 1 year. Members started coming in. business was better. Jim was re-elected the next year. The lodge done better. We have more members coming in. And from that day forward till this day, Hazelwood Lodging Senior is still very happy and is gaining members steadily as we go along. Jim and I joined the Scottish Rite at the same time, and him and I spent lots of time going, doing Masonic work. He was a leader of men, a man that could start climbing poles and mowing the yard for a company and end up as their general manager for his done. Shows that he is the depth of reality. I thank you all. I'll tell you one thing about Jim Carter. I feel sorry for the people that didn't get to meet him in his work. Thank you.
Now we have a leader Samuelson would like to come up and talk to us about KCCH.
KCCH is a group of people that are charged with raising funds for rec care and the other types of fundraising activities for the temple and other things. And we work very hard at doing that, and we'll see later the results of some of them. We have a fairly large membership, and we are looking forward to some more coming on board to receive free Joplin Fall. Some of the projects we do, we have a dinner called Joplin SR. I don't know if you all are familiar with it. He was a writer in Scotland, and we celebrate all the life groups associated with this. It's a major fundraiser, and we hope to have a really good event this year as well. We also have had in the past golf tournaments and some fun lines, water and some other events that used to raise funds.
I'm not going to belabor this a whole bunch. Last year I talked about Pops Ride was a ride in our area that we do every year. And it was to help a widow of my top line signer who brought me into the masonry. Well, the Lord had blessed us throughout the years, and her life had moved on. She actually, her kids had taken care of her. And so last year we decided to everything, or proceeds would go to rec care. And the reason being is you don't see a lot of advertising for rec care. Scottish Rite had, or rec care had given some hearing aids to a teenager in our area. And so I thought, well, I just want to get this out there. And it was great. Last year we raised some money for rec care, and I felt really good about it. So this year we did the same thing. So we did another ride, but the weather was really horrible. And so I thought, well, it is what it is, and we'll just see. But I pushed rec care, and I'm going to tell you what rec care has done in my area. The furthest you can get in our valley, that's where I live. Like the valley line is right here. I live right on that, dude. I can step off into somebody else's valley from my backyard. So there's a machine that you can put a child in. They can't push a button. They can't tell you that they hear on either side, and they can look into it, and they can tell if that child has hearing issues. An adult, even, and somebody from 0 to 5, they can tell if they have hearing issues without them being able to communicate with you. My wife, with the help of Stevie Barber and T. Wayne, asked Rec Care to donate these machines to our area that services 8 communities. And numbers of children already have been found with hearing issues because of Right Care giving these very, very expensive hearing machines to our area. So again, I'm pushing it. Well, it was bad weather, and I kind of was worried about what was going to happen. But our community came together again. And even after the ride, which we still had a great time, we did what we do for motorcycles and motorcycle riders. You know, we stop at places and have libations, whatever. And even after that whole event was over, people still donated. And David, I have a couple of checks here I'd like to give, if it's okay to write here. After our ride, donations still kept coming in. So I have this check for $110 that I would like to add to this check for $1,814.
Wow. Brother David Appleby, if you'd like to come up and elaborate a little bit more on Right Care.
I love reunions. I love coming down here. I love seeing old friends. I like making new friends. I like the camaraderie. I like the fellowship. I like sitting through the degrees again. I'm at a different point in my life each time I hear those degrees, and so I relearn a lesson or learn a new lesson each time. And I think that's the reason most of you are here. You know, the problem with that is those are things that honestly we're doing for ourselves. I'm going to paraphrase here just for a second Albert Pike. But Albert Pike said essentially that the things that we do for ourselves are going to die with us. But the things we do for others are going to be our legacy. They're going to last forever. And so this really brings us to the most important, in my opinion, part of our program here this entire weekend. And that's when we once again call attention to the work we do collectively through Right Care. And that's to help young people with their speech and hearing problems. And so that's an essential thing. Now, we can only do so much, and we only have limited resources, unfortunately. So we tend to partner. You just heard about from Tommy one of the programs that helps. But generally speaking, we work through Children's Miracle Network. And over the last 25 years, many of you realize this, we have raised and then delivered to them for help for young people over $500,000. And that's a great, great program. But what we need to do, I think, every so often is stop and actually see firsthand how this impacts families. Okay? And so at this point, what I'd like to do is introduce to you Julie Conway, who represents Children's Miracle Network, and she's going to introduce you to the Kennedy family.
Thank you, David. Yes, we're extremely blessed to have the Scottish Right Care program as a partner of ours, and we're able to help over 100,000 kids every year because of groups like you. And so we're just thrilled to be able to partner with you. And today, as David said, we'd like to just give you a firsthand example of what all your hard work goes to. I have with me Brock and Elena Kennedy and their little son Grayson, and Brock's going to kind of tell you their story.
Hello, thank you. This is Grayson, and Grayson is my wife and I, Elena's little miracle, and it took many years for us to be able to conceive and have a child, and through the pregnancy, it was a relatively normal pregnancy, many precautions as much as we could, but when he was born, he came just a little early, and was born into the NICU, not breathing when he was born, emergency C-section, and through resuscitation, he was okay pretty soon thereafter. But we got to stay at the hospital for a while, and that's when we encountered the Children's Miracle Network. And at first, we were very hesitant because we felt we were working individuals and had good health care and insurance and family support, and just felt that we can take this on our shoulders. And quickly, we found what the bills were adding up and what it was going to take to provide him the care that was going to be necessary. And as you can see, he has hearing aids, and those hearing aids are directly a result from your giving. We had turned the Children's Miracle Network down for the first time we met him because we didn't know what was available to us or what we were going to need at the time. And then as we were there, they came back and introduced themselves to us again. We sat down and talked with them. By that point, we knew he had a hearing damage from birth, and that it was not curable. It's just from the lack of oxygen, most likely, and that he was going to need hearing aids. And so what the individual was talking about just a moment ago, at 3 months old, 3 to 4 months old, he was put into one of those booths and, sedated, did what's called an ABR test where they confirmed that yes, he has hearing loss that could be corrected with hearing aids, and then he'll have that for life. And so we went through the process and applied, and you all were very gracious and blessed us immensely with that, because without the gift that you gave, there's probably a strong possibility that we wouldn't have early in life, his first year of life, chosen to go ahead and aid him. But the necessity to aid a child in his first year of life, it's a second year of life, wherever they find, to aid them as early as possible, makes it possible that they can speak. In his first year, he was not able to, he was way behind on speech, even with the aids, but as he grew and started wearing the aids more, then he's able to now communicate pretty effectively. You'll see he speaks in sign language a lot, and but that's all directly because of the hearing aids, of which I know we probably would have had family possibly help us out, but there's a good chance that we would have delayed aiding him. But with the gift to be able to aid a child whenever they need it in that first few years of life, truly makes such a deep impact on them and on him and us, because there was a lot of questions in those first few days, first few months, but knowing that when we got the blessing, the message that Scottish Rite was going to take care of the hearing aids, that was one of the biggest burdens, one of the biggest weights that we had, to be able to know that was taken care of. And so can't tell you thank you enough, other than hopefully continue to raise the money and continue to support Children's Miracle Network is our direction for now, and continue just to promote the need for aiding children and adults, but children early in life. And so thank you so much.
Add something really quick. I just want you guys to understand the magnitude of your gift. I mean, his hearing aids cost $4,000 and insurance only paid $1,000. And he wasn't even cooing as an infant until after he had his hearing aids. So I just want you to understand the magnitude of your gift. Thank you.
On behalf of Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, I'd like to present you with a plaque for your giving in 2017, and it totaled $45,122. And all those dollars went to help kids like Grayson. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Julie. I know all of you appreciate our relationship with Children's Miracle Network and Cox Health, and we appreciate the fact that you've helped us make Grayson part of our legacy and part of our everlasting memories and actions. Thank you very, very much.
We've seen what Miracle Network and Doctor can do for a child right there. On behalf of KCCH and the Shrine, President Scottish Rite, I'd like to present this check of $20,000 to David.
Now I'd like to introduce the personal representative of Valley of Joplin, Jim Hardy.
You know, one of the favorite things I like to do is present perpetual memberships. They're really, really special. Ike O'Brady. All right. You here? You back there? Yeah, Plaskin County, come on up here, Ike. Ike did
That fall.
Flip a slide, guys, where we have Ike's name up there, sure everybody knows he has money. You know, perpetual memberships are a wonderful thing. They pay your dues the rest of your life, and then after you pass, it does special things for our valley. And you can see there's salt and pepper shakers there. A perpetual membership, after you pass, will provide us with salt and pepper for banquets every year, forever. Or it can provide us with the condiments, ketchup, mustard, relish, every year, forever. Or my favorite is Ed showed, it's not here, when I presented his, it will provide us with the water usage at our reunions forever. And I told him, every time I go to the restroom, man, I'm going to think about you. So I'm going to have to figure out, Ike, what your gift's going to do, but I think your gift is going to pay for the laundry of tablecloths and napkins forever, as soon as you're nice enough to pass away. Anyhow, Ike, I get this here. Congratulations. Thank you very much. One other thing I'll say about Ike, Ike came into the Scottish Rite via his son, Kevin. And Kevin was one of our fellows last year, got to make the trip to Washington and do a lot of great things. If you get a chance, holler at Kevin. Anyhow, thank you.
When I come to the reunions, you know that there's a lot that goes into these to get them to come off like they do. There's so many people to thank for that. First of all, I'd like to start with thanking our kitchen crew and our dining room crew. That was a wonderful meal. Thank you guys very much. Also for the help for the Dimmalay and the Rainbow Girl. Couldn't pull it off without those guys. I'd like to thank all the brothers that helped in the degrees, because you can't do those degrees without acting. So thank you for what you do. Our class, brother to brother library, archive, technology, building, master planning, and I'm sure I missed half of it. But thank you all for what you do. Appreciate it. I'd like to take the time now to introduce our class officers. Our class president, Brian Robinson. Where's Brian? There you go. Vice President Dustin West. Class orator, Clint Flood. And the Secretary Treasurer, Joshua Dunn. Now we'd like to give our class orator, Clint Flood, a few moments to speak if you'd like.
Good afternoon. So, distinguished guests, family members, brothers, support staff, I will say that what I was going to say was just said on the last slides. You know, definitely thank you to everybody involved, kitchen staff, the Dimmalay, the Rainbow Girls for providing a wonderful meal for the banquet. Thanks to everyone that was involved, support staff going into this for us. And on behalf of the class, I'm honored to be able to say, more than anything, to those brothers that put on the degrees, allowing us to come into this family. You know, thank you. I mean, it's awesome, you know, to get further, I guess, education in Freemasonry being brought into the Scottish Rite. You know, again, you know, I think I echo what the class would say as far as this goes. Just it's been an outstanding experience, and it really means a lot to be able to be honored and brought into this type of family. So, thank you very much.
time now to invite up the illustrious Bob Cockerham and the illustrious Jim Hardy to present the recipient of the Scottish Rite Master Craftsman.
Barton? Cardelli? Close enough. Close enough? How close? Cardelli. Yeah, Cardelli. Okay, would you please come up here and join us? You've been busy. Haven't you? Okay, what do we want to do, Bob? I'm going to go over to the other side.
I think this is awesome. I mean, to become a master craftsman to begin with is one thing, but to go on to the next class is something else. We get them all at the same time. This is the first time I've ever had the pleasure and the honor of making such a presentation. So you're going to get double pinned here. Also get two beautiful certificates here, but we're so proud of even one up here. A lamp of knowledge. Look at that lamp. Might be something in that lamp, right? A lot of knowledge. Take some time to do these courses, and I encourage all the Scottish Rite brothers, and anyone can take these courses. It's fun. When this first came out, my wife Stacy and I did it, and we did it with our children. So they have a great understanding of what the Scottish Rite is. So it's not just for Scottish Rite members, it's for anybody and everybody that wants to do what wants to learn. So we're so pleased and so privileged to have you today, my brother. Please become a master craftsman at Scottish Rite. Congratulations.
Sometimes Scottish Rite people live long enough to get an honor called the 50 years of service. We have some of those with us today that we're going to present. If I thought you could please come down here to the front of the stage. Forgive me if I mispronounce your name. Walter Eskin. K.W. Hoyces. I'm sure I'm butchering your name, and I do apologize. Douglas Collar. Okay. Larry Lurcher. Brian Norman. And Bobby Van Stabler.
Oh, they just don't make these tall enough, do they? Oh, stop. It's so wonderful to be in the Valley of Joplin, don't you think? Oh, God, it's so good for all of us, and I tell you what, my wife Stacy and I just love coming over here, up here, around here, whatever preposition you want to use, but it's just a delight every time we get to visit because of you. It's all about you. It's got nothing to do with us. It's got everything to do with you. And we're so pleased just to sit back and listen to all the good things you're doing here, all the wonderful things that go on in the Joplin Valley. And sometimes all of the crazy things that go on. Those are kind of fun too, because it gives you a little extra project to work on here and there. But my congratulations, first and foremost today, is to our new brothers who are joining the Scottish Rite. We're so delighted to have you. Would you all stand up for just a moment? All of our brothers who are joining the Scottish Rite over this reunion. Let's let them hear it. Thank you, brothers. Thank you so much. It's time to have the reunion, right? And we do this at least 3 times a year down here in Joplin and take that opportunity to reunite, to get back together, to share stories, to listen to crazy talk sometimes, just to have a good time. And to do something that's so important is to, glorify God in what we do. And especially through the wonderful ritual work that you've seen. And those lessons of morality, the lessons of integrity, the lessons of communication, the lessons of love, forgiveness, gratefulness, all the wonderful things of life, and be able to understand what's good and what's not good, and what is and how we should be for Him and for ourselves and our families and everyone around us, right? Isn't that what it's really all about? Not all these materialistic things that I know. It's just you're proud and wonderful things happen and things come your way. I'm not a hat wearer. I just don't get it on the one hand. On the other hand, I'm humbled. I'm humbled to be a servant. And that's what we are. We're servants of God, and we're servants for one another. And the more that we volunteer ourselves, and we're volunteers. I'm a volunteer. We're all volunteers. We give of our time, of our talents, of our treasures, and everything else as we come here and do good works. You should be proud of that, ladies, for putting up with these guys. You should be proud of that, my brothers, my friends, true gentlemen. Thinking about some of the people you've mentioned here today, in particular, and Brother Jim Carpenter. What a true brother. What a true friend. He always made me feel good coming down here. And just getting to visit with him, coming down, and you just knew it was within him. Here to serve, here to give back, not only just to his family in particular, but to his community, to the Blue Lodges. But we were blessed here at the Scottish Rite to have him here. And especially in the right care. I got my right care tie on here today in particular. There's a lot of memories here with the right care. And with Jim in particular. We loved him so, and I know the people here that knew him so much more than I had the opportunity. I did have that opportunity, and I'm glad I did. I'm truly glad I did. Because he's another brother that I can say, boy, oh boy, I looked up to him as a mentor, as one who truly loved people and gave back and did everything. And that's the way you are here in Joplin. That's why this is my favorite valley. Still is. St. Louis is putting a push on you right now, but Joplin's still #1 in my heart. And it is. We love it down here. And we listen to all the wonderful things that come from this. And, not only sharing the right care and doing all those things, but being able to help through the right care and all those who are involved here. One of the most important things we do. Faith, hope, charity. Things we learn in Freemasonry, right? Obviously, first, faith in God that lets us do everything and have everything through Him. That hope to know that it's always going to be good, no matter how bad it might think we are at the time. We always have that hope because God's there for us. But then we add in that other thing about charity, pouring ourselves out and giving back to the community. I had the opportunity to visit with the Kennedys a little earlier today. I could tell just by looking at them what wonderful people they were and how loving they are, not only to one another as husband and wife, but their little boy. That guy, he's great. He's awesome. He's awesome. He was sitting up there in the big chair upstairs and just, hey, the more mischief he gets in, the healthier, the better he is. That doesn't mean let him out of rain. But what a wonderful thing. And what a wonderful thing, again, my brothers, my sisters, everyone here, what you do to be able to support those programs, to help the Children's Miracle Network and all the other programs that the Right Care does. Absolutely beautiful. We get to award scholarship, education, wisdom, cell phones. We get it all here in Joplin. It's awesome. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes. You never know where it goes sometimes, but it's all good. It's all good in every respect. We get to honor those who have served for so many years, our brothers. 50 years. It's a good halfway there. Just keep at it. The great thing about all of it, it never ends. Because it's all going to be in eternity. And there we get to share all these wonderful things with our good Lord forever. So we might as well do as good as we can while we're here, right? In everything that we do. All these great things that I heard the motorcycle riders out there, I love it. I'll say, Stacy and I, we ride the Harley. We get out there on the road. We got our own little club going in St. Louis. It's good. And it's another way to share and give back. You say, you ride a Harley? Really? Yeah, I've been riding since I was a little kid. And I love motorcycles. So I applaud those who went out and did a good job with that. And look at what they did. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what your interests are. Because you're going to find other people in Freemasonry that have similar interests, and then you can do them to the max. Because why? Because you pledge yourself to God and others to do right and to do good things. Isn't it good to do them with good people, as opposed to being so messed up with some of the other shenanigans of this world? I have a great honor at this time to make a couple of presentations myself today. Don't do this too often. They come here and there. But we have one in particular that I have the honor of spreading the wings, I'll say it. You'll understand that more in a moment. To a man who has dedicated his life to Freemasonry, Scottish Rite in particular. I met him moons ago in Malay. I knew him as a kid. I'm still a kid. I still feel like a kid. And seeing all the wonderful things this gentleman has done, this brother has done. He's worked consistently, not only in this valley, but in so many other places, in so many facets. There's not a list. I could read forever from a list. I don't have a list because this isn't my list. I don't know what this is. But there isn't a book big enough to put in all the things that this brother has done. I would like a helper here, a Malay helper, who's now a Scottish Rite brother. Ukiah, are you out there somewhere? Ukiah, leave us?
You probably have to go get dressed for a degree.
That's a good time to do that. Are you the substitute elf over here? Okay. Do you know how to help? We will find the one. Will you bring that to me, sir? Thank you. We've been cooking this up back in the kitchen for a little bit, but it's now come to fruition. And I could say it would be a little bit better if we had, I won't even say it, it's a bad joke. But anyway, I have a very special presentation today, and as I say, we haven't done this for a couple of years at all. But every now and then, we pick, it could be 1, 2, 3, whatever, it doesn't matter the number. But what matters is the service that the person is committed and given to our Scottish Rite in particular. And this is a special award. It's really an honor from the Orient. So it's not just from this valley. This is from the whole Orient and also from the southern jurisdiction and from your humble SGIG here. This is a service, inspiration, commitment, honor, which we present to, well, as I said, it doesn't matter. It could be one, two, or more along the board. And it's a very special one because nobody else gives these other than here in the Orient in Missouri. And you know more about this gentleman than I'll ever know, but I do know a little bit about him. And I think you'll agree with me that our recipient today of this coveted honor is Brother, could you go scout him down for me? Illustrious elf, sir. I think he could find somebody out there in the deep regions of our community here. Illustrious Brother T. Wayne Anderson. See that guy's license plate? I'll let him tell you that story later. It's a great story. And it's true. You know, you talk about birds of a feather flock together, right? And it's one of those moments, this is a very rare moment. We just don't do this very often. But it does happen. That unfortunately we couldn't get the two-headed eagle on this one, so we had to get a second honoree today so that we could have the two heads out here on the eagles. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't ask me later, ask T. Wayne about it. He can explain it because he doesn't know it either. Who is this guy? Okay, there is one other person we'd like to honor here today. And again, I don't need to say anything because you know him so well. And you've known what he has done over the years, for so many years. And you talk about just, not just here, but in other places, there's leadership. Leadership not only in this valley, but leadership on the Orient level and leadership beyond, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more after I make the presentation here. Isn't it great when the son delegates to the dad, you know, hey, can you take care of this? Well, we are so, again, honored again. Service, inspiration, commitment, honor. And I think you know them pretty well. And again, nobody has any idea these are coming. They just don't. But if you would be so helpful to find our second one, we have as our honoree, illustrious Brother James D. Hardy.
T. Wayne, congratulations. Thank you very much. This is a problem. Thank you.
You know, we have a personal representative, and so you all understand, especially for the new guys joining on today, and for others that may not know, but the personal representative serves as the Sovereign Grand Inspector General in the Valley, in particular, because the Sovereign Grand Inspector General can't be everywhere all the time, so he chooses a personal representative. To try to pull one over on a personal representative is not an easy task. So, but I thought we wouldn't stop there, because I'm going to end up today in talking about something that is so important to Freemasonry and the Scottish Rite, in particular here at Joplin. We have two men who were recently honored through the DMLA. The DMLA is a youth group, which you should know, and if you don't, we're going to educate you a little bit more. But two who have been elevated to the highest honor within the DMLA, which they will be receiving next Saturday at the DMLA State Installation of Officers, and that's Brother Jim and Brother Rich Lowry, going to be Legionnaires. They've been designated. We'll see if they make it or not. But that's next week. You're all invited to go to that. It's all free because it's priceless. The best things in life are free because they're priceless. But there's something else that happened this year. Again, this has been long coming, very long coming, especially for somebody from Joplin. We've had a few here and there, and there's only a few here and there anywhere. But I am honored, and I'm going to do it today, even though we're going to do it again next week. But we're going to do it today, and I want to present illustrious Brother Hardy in his role in DMLA for his outstanding leadership. He was elected unanimously by the International Supreme Council this year to become an honorary member of our Supreme Council, and I'm going to collar him today. This is a very special honor. There are fewer of these than any other in the DMLA International, even fewer than being an active member, which I am. So he's honored even more in that sense. So Jim, I'm going to call you here today. I thought it'd be nice to do it here in Joplin for you. DMLA, well, Joplin is going to have something very special tomorrow, right here. Same time, same place. Starting about 1 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to get together here, and we're going to have a joining ceremony, kind of an open house for those who have been invited from the school district nearby here, especially in Carthage. And a whole bunch of them have been invited with their parents and families and friends to come and learn about DMLA and join DMLA tomorrow. DMLA is our youth group, which was founded by the Scottish Rite. A young man, he was 28 years old, in Missouri. And he said, you know what? He started with one and it went for millions of young men. And with that, in turn, tens of millions involved in the Order of DMLA internationally. Missouri DMLA is very proud to still hold the #1 place in DMLA International overall, and for over 15 years now has had net growth in membership. I don't know how many other groups can say that. Net growth in membership, and has been the #1 membership leader all those years. In part because of Joplin, but in part because we believe so much in it, and I know you do too. If you don't know about it, I encourage you to come out tomorrow at 1 o'clock if you can, and learn more about DMLA and what it does. A lot of us started there. I was dragged there kicking, screaming, and crying, literally, by my father, because I knew better than him. And I didn't. I learned very quickly after I saw the degree work in the DMLA. How important that was, and that changed my life forever. I met my wife through DMLA. All of my sons have been DMLAs. The family's been involved with it forever. I'm going on 46 years in DMLA. They put me in when I was born, just like little Lizzie here, right? And it's just been a lifetime of love and giving back, and it's the reason why I'm involved in Freemasonry. And I know others are too, but it doesn't matter if you've been involved in DMLA or not. Because the time to become involved is now. You Can't look back. Can't change what already happened, right? But you can change everything from this point forward. So I encourage you to come out and get involved, to see what it is. Young men, ages 12 through 20. So if you have a young man, bring him tomorrow. Turn on that light. I heard someone talking, what is it? What did we learn here? We got education, yes, we got further light. We're getting closer to the light, right? We want to know everything about the light that we can, because the light is the light of God, right? And that's what we do. These young men will pledge themselves like you did as a brother Freemason at the altar to be a better person. Let me just say this to you, and I may be boring you to tears, and I apologize for that, but I think this is the most important thing in our society today, is to educate our youth while they're young. Because our schools, in many respects, and the universities are poisoning them day by day with things that just aren't the way God wants. We have those trying to drive God out of our communities, and out of our lives, and out of our children. Freemasonry brings that back into our lives and into our hearts. That's why the Spirit's within us, right? And there's no better way than Demolay. There's no question about it. It's better than getting into Freemasonry, because you start earlier and you have that opportunity to share and to be a part of that as a young man. So I encourage you strongly to come out and see what's going on. If you can't make it tomorrow, come back and become involved down the road. It will change your life. I have a brother that's right here, right? Can I stand up for a second? We haven't talked about this at all, have we? Demolay changed your life, sir?
Every day.
Were you a Demolay?
No.
Talk about his story later, okay? I could go on and point out many in this room in that respect. He's joining the class today. Are you going to be here tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I would talk to him in particular, because he's very much involved with the Demolay group here, and many others as well. I'll be glad to talk to anybody too. And I know I go on and on about this, but there's something about going on and on about it, because it's made Demolay in Missouri the best, because of you and your involvement. So come out and join us. What's Demolay about? Love of parents, a true belief and faith in God, being courteous and respectful to one another, being a true brother in every sense of the word, being faithful, faithful not to God but to everyone, being clean in thought, word, and deed, and being a true patriot. Those are the 7 principles of the Order of Demolay. That's what the young men will learn about. They'll also learn about Jacques Demolay, which I think some of you may have learned a little bit about just a little while ago, right? Through the degree work. It all ties together, my brothers. Bless you all and all that you do. May God's grace and blessings always be with every one of you. And when you go home, my brothers, if I don't get the chance to talk to you individually, the greatest thing you can do is go home and tell whoever you're with how much you love them. We need to show love. God has given us all His love. It's up to us to show our love to one another. Thank you all for having us here. Enjoy the rest of the reunion. Hopefully be here tomorrow. Be part of that. And take it every day from hereafter to the glory of God. Thank you.
We just wanted to thank you guys so much
be craving for prosperity. You have a good one, young man.
Thank you once again, guys, for your continued support towards this chapter.
Thank you all to being here to celebrate something that is very special.
Once again, thank you for supporting our youth. This is what makes all our Masonic families grow. So please keep them in mind. Also, anybody that has kids, grandkids in the Joplin area, tomorrow at 2 o'clock, there will be an open house here for Demole for boys from 12 to 21. If you know it, love to come out, love to see you out there. Once again, thank you for your support. Thank you to all the Demole advisors that may be out there. Dad and Mom Lowry, Dad and Mom Cockerham, watching both Dad, Mom, and Dad Lowry's, and everybody else. Thank you very much.